here to talk about pearly things.
Just pearly things.
Personally, I'm terrible at keeping up with certain things, but every now and again, whenever I see something from Pearly Things or she's covered by other people that I watch, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in shock of the things that she's saying. Coop was just reminding me about some of it, Jake, as you're known on this show.
Yeah.
Jake was just reminding me about some of the things that she said. What was it? It was...
women shouldn't be allowed to vote. What else?
If as a woman, you look like a beluga whale.
Or you're over the age of 28, which is a remarkably young age.
She said you're just not finding
You're cooked, yeah. And she also recently came out a tweet, I think, or it was a tweet that got resurfaced. This is why this video is going to be a little bit more difficult to make, is it's not something that Pearly Things necessarily did recently, but a tweet had been unearthed where she had said that a 16-year-old would be hotter than a 26-year-old, which obviously, I mean, you take a look at that for like 10 seconds, and that's her usual rhetoric, is that the younger a woman gets, the more attractive she's going to be to guys. You have to look at the statistics, but it's almost, I feel like, a conversation not even worth having, which is kind of the overarching theme with a lot of her content, man. It's a lot. I think it's the overarching theme with a lot of Manosphere or Red Pill content. It's like a lot of relationship dynamic stuff. I think we talked about this in the Brittany Renner video. It's a lot of stuff that could just be solved if you went out and went on dates and met people
and gained different understandings of people.
Yeah, or just went through, like, we're sitting here talking about it, so I guess we're kind of a prime example, but it's almost like if you go out and you experience these things, all of the, what do women want? Women want money, women want a 6-foot guy. You go into the real world, and you're not chronically online, a lot of what Pearl says and a lot of what these other people say just becomes kind of moot, becomes a false point. Even, I guess, what we would say, right? Because by that same logic, like, you could listen to us talk all day, but I think we'll be the first to tell you, go out and experience. Use us to color your, your viewpoints, as well as...
Well, at least, if we don't color your viewpoints, at the very least, question your viewpoints and look at where you're getting them.
Yeah, color is not a good, because that just means, like, we should overtake your entire viewpoint. Yeah, no, become a talking head for the channel. No. Just we need to start building an army for loyal people that don't question anything that we
insane,
do.
Bro.
The power would be nauseating.
Yeah, I bet it would be.
Yeah.
You guys, you should always have your own viewpoints. At the very least, we're just sharing ours and how we see things, and if we agree, we agree, and if you disagree, you disagree, and maybe sometimes you might voice your opinions in the comments and we might respond back, but all I'm saying is, if you're looking at the word through a negative light all the time, that's not helping you. That's not benefiting anybody, that's just keeping you locked in a box. Relatively, if you look at the world through a positive light all the time, I don't think that's necessarily helpful either, because at the same time, you got to be able to process the negatives too. I feel like there needs to be a nice balance where you understand how things work and you can actually go out for yourself and experience things. So as I was saying about Pearl, she had mentioned something about how if you're a beluga whale or something, you're just never meeting the right person. Something Coop had said a while back was...
Oh, the failed recording.
Something Cooper said a while back is like, that's a very negative take towards somebody, and I agree. And instead of saying that, what we should say is, if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you expect to take care of another person, or that person be willing to take care of you?
Yeah, and it's like, if you take a look at the Red Pill content, they market themselves as the truth of a situation, and I think is
just the best of every situation.
Yeah. Or I'm just talking about those are some of the more grandiose creators, but it's a lot of, they get caught up in gender dynamics a lot, but there is truth in that. Like, if you are gonna not take care of yourself, even with how accepting society is nowadays of everyone from every walk of life in certain situations, so like a lot of models, there are plus size models, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. The point still stands, though, is that if you do not take care of yourself, by definition, you will be less attractive to the everyday person. Is that a wild thing to say? If you don't use hygiene, if you don't shower, if you don't really take care of yourself,
100%.
There might be some people that don't care, but you're also going to run into some people, that will find that unattractive, and that's okay. And that'd be okay if that's how Pearl and all these red people, I think this is what you're trying to say, it'd be okay if these red pill people marketed that like that. You know, if they were helping people, but it's not. You know, it's kind of like
it's just choosing to just single out a group of people and saying you guys just suck.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, hey,
it's wholly negative.
Yeah, it's just wholly negative. You know, just because like I might look at somebody and be like, they're a little out of shape. You know, that's okay. They're a little out of shape. Maybe that's what they prefer. Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're just completely unhealthy. They could be eating healthy.
Yeah.
You know, they're just choosing not to work out.
There's so many, and I'm so glad that you said that, because another example I wanted to use, I think I was watching Fox News a while ago, because my dad just has it on, and they're talking about the epidemic of fat people in America, right? And instead of saying you could do this, that, they have this, I forget what show it's called, but they have like 5 open micers and then an actual established comedian on there, and they take pot shots at like Democrats and everyone that they disagree with, and they're making fat jokes. And they're saying, oh yeah, well, we're doing all of this to help fat people. You know, that's something I constantly see a lot with online fitness creators, or mostly it's like a lot of like red-pilled guys. It's like, yeah, we're doing people a favor. We're trying to wake them up to the truth. There's so many mitigating factors that can stop someone from getting in shape. I used to be at the camp of people that thought it's like, hey, just eat less, diet more, work harder. It's not always that simple. It's oftentimes more complicated. There could be mental health. So we need to stop acting.
If like, for example, there was once upon a time where Coop used to say that to me, and I've discovered that like a lot of times my mental gets in the way of like me staying in shape. Like I lost a lot of weight, and I recently had gained some of it back due to just some mental stuff that I had going on. You know, now because I know how to lose it, I'm not too worried I can just lose the weight. But it's exactly as you just said. You know, it might be easier for you to just kind of shred the weight, whereas for me, it's a little bit more of a process. And then for another person, it might be a lot more of a process.
I don't want to say necessarily that when the red pills say just work harder, like you don't want, you know, some people just don't want it enough. That's another thing. It's like you gotta want it, right? So that's what I'm trying to guess. That kind of goes back to what I was originally saying, is that some of the stuff that they say could be actionable. What I take issue with, and what I take issue with Pearl and all these different red pill creators with, is the fact that they're not trying to help people, right? They know what they can get. They know what they can stir up. They know what type of views they can get if they go out and they say something inflammatory on a podcast, on a reel. And what we've done as a society is we've made, especially as men, these people our pillars, right? Like, who would you think of if you thought of a wholesome role model for men across the U.S.?
The very first person that popped into my head was Corey Kenshin.
Corey Kenshin's a very good example, but how many men are going to? Let's just say, because are the really, and I guess I shouldn't say all men then, but a good portion of men nowadays. You know, I'm talking about the guys that are constantly in the gym, lifting weights, you know, all about God. Which is, again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you know the type of person that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Are those people watching Corey Kenshin? Like, is there a guy that can, across the board, like, let's just say for women, who would it be for women? Women have so many different ones. I think the problem that a lot of that guys as a whole are facing nowadays is that we don't have, I believe, role models online that have our best interest at heart.
You know what I will say? To your point, Corey Kenshin is a gamer. If you're not interested in games and you're more into working out, I've never seen a workout video of Corey Kenshin. So
but he's got a sleeper build. I don't know. What the fuck? He does. What the fuck? Why is he so ripped?
He does in fact have a sleeper build.
I saw this picture. I was like, all right, Corey. All right, Corey.
All right, buddy.
All right, champ. Dude, these people at PayPal keep calling me. Can I call you later? They're never getting through to me. They're never. They can email me.
Can I call you later?
Outstanding balance of $200. They'll have to wait for that back.
Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, I don't think it's necessarily that these people don't exist. What I do think is that social media pushes more so often the people that are just speaking not bare nonsense, but just exactly as we said, the red pill community, you know? Because you know what? A good example is what's his name? The Jake, one of the brothers, Jake and Paul. I don't know a lot of people that like Jake Paul. At least not in my circles. As a matter of fact, I think a lot more people in my circles can't stand Jake Paul. But you know what? I saw something that said Jake Paul gets a lot of publicity and stuff because of the stuff that he goes out and he's willing to do. He literally positioned himself as the problem.
Oh, he's a smart guy. Yeah.
So you know what? Because he positioned himself as a problem child, you just see all these things popping up to him. You know, oh, there goes a problem child again. Boom, 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 boom. You know, everybody is interested, or you know, at least people will post what he's talking about. You know, the stuff that's flagrant, the stuff that shouldn't be said. Oh my gosh! Here, you and I, we're speaking. We're talking about things that are, you know, more not mainstream, but just more upstanding. You know, better yourself, stuff of that nature. That might not get pushed as much because you know.
We gotta throw a joke in every once in a while.
You know what I mean? Yeah, of course. But I'm just saying it's not gonna get pushed as much because everybody is like, you know, we've heard this before, you know. But if we started coming out, started saying stuff that's like, oh my gosh, they said they don't like women or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They said they hate women. They're speaking down on women. Oh my gosh! Now all of a sudden we're blowing up everywhere because everybody's like, dang. Oh my gosh! Nobody said. I gotta see what more they said. Let me hear more of that take.
Good idea, Josh. Women are lazy. No, I'm getting an idea. No, I think you're right. I mean, it's not to sound like obvious Olivers over here, but that's the fact of the matter is that stuff rises to the surface because people. I don't necessarily either agree with those people, and we'll get to the end of this video because I did want to talk about whether or not Pearl is really believing in the things that she espouses. But we'll leave that for a second. I think it's not even necessarily a new thing either. You go back to traveling circuses, spectacles, right? This is just a new form of spectacles. But the only problem now is a new form of spectacle has the chance and the ability to affect so many people worldwide. You could have someone that becomes a cultural icon. You could always have that, but now it's just, you're one video away, like we're one video away. I could put something out on Gloves Up that gets, I put a video out, it got 2,000 views overnight, and like 27 people commented. And that was a video that I was like, I don't know, should I post it? I guess I'll post it. Boom, posted it, and it just blew up. And everyone was either telling me, hey, I hate what you have to say, hey, I love what you have to say. All these different things are mitigating factors. But again, the problem is that there are people that, with that amount of power, like Pearl, and I guess we could get into the end of this video with that either don't believe what they're saying or believe what they're saying and don't understand the harm that their platform could cause. Because let's just run for a second with the narrative that maybe Pearl believes half the shit that she says, which I really don't believe. By the way, Tokyo Grift shirt, link in the description with Pearl's name on Tokyo Grift. Isn't that funny? I made that shirt. Should we put that out?
Tokyo Grift?
Tokyo Grift, but it's Pearl's face on it. It's the Tokyo Drift poster, but
right. But
I just replaced one of the characters with Pearl.
So now we're making slanderous T-shirts.
Wait a second. Didn't we just accuse Pearl of that for the entire video?
I just feel like we should not. I feel like that's not a good idea.
No Tokyo Grift shirt, unless you guys really want one. Unless I can make money off of it, dude.
Oh my god.
Let's just roll with the assumption that Pearl believes in what she says. Like, we believe in what we say. We don't say anything on here that we don't believe. There also does have to be that thought in the back of your head. You should be able to say, oh, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Let me hear the other side out. 100%. And so I think even if Pearl is being 100% genuine with her takes, you could still say that she doesn't extend that charitability to the other side. And I think that in itself is dangerous. But I also just think that she really doesn't stand on business. Like, I think if you saw her in person, she wouldn't stand on it.
She doesn't stand on it.
What do you think about gender dynamics, Pearl? She'd be like, I'm 6'1", you know what I mean? You go, Pearl, go grab a rebound, bro. Play the WNBA, bro. Come on. Acting like she was supposed to play basketball overseas, talking about...
Oh, no.
If you're you know, beat me in a pickup game, and then we'll talk. All right?
Yo, you know what, guys?
I kind of nasty crossover.
We're done. We're editing this video right here. Let me pull up over Pearl right now, bro. See you if you watch the next video.
Let me see how tough Pearl is.
See us again.
Once I hit the...
We're gonna be discussing some fun
once
stuff.
I hit the... Wait,
guys,
once I hit
I'm trying to...
Turn off, shit.
All right, guys, we're gonna hang up. Everyone, have a great night.